This is probably gonna get me in even more trouble, but stop saying that black women want to be white when we straighten our hair or wear wigs, because we don't. Nothing against white people, but black women order Brazilian, Indian, maybe even Cambodian hair, not Irish. Hey guys, it's Cece Lesson 3. Welcome back to my channel. So, here we are again, having to vent. So this video might get me in a little bit of trouble, probably, because there's always hate, there's always ignorance. But honestly, being fully honest with myself, after my last two rants, or few rants that I've done on my channel so far, I feel a lot better after I put my piece out there. Like, every time I see like a dumb, stupid, ignorant comment, I feel better knowing I said what I said and I meant it. I can be like, I refer you to this comment, if I even do respond at all, because most of the time I really don't. I'll just let YouTube put it in the spam and delete column. I want to make this video talking about hair, and especially hair as a black woman. Like, I talked about this before briefly, where I mentioned some of the reasons why we bleach our hair, why we straighten our hair, why we cover up our hair, whatever the case may be. Like, the main reason women of color started to change our hair is because of assimilation and basic survival. Our hair has a long history of being called nappy, unprofessional, sloppy, dirty, trashy. Even this recent video of Zendaya.
This hair to me overwhelms her. Like, I feel like she smells like patchouli oil. Or weed. Yeah, maybe weed.
She wore a more natural hairstyle on a fancy red carpet event and got smacked for it. Though I will say I was proud of how quick people shut her up and shut her down and said, we know Zendaya's a queen, stop. Like, we've seen stories about little elementary school kids and middle school kids being sent home from school because they were told that their hair is a distraction.
She and her sister Deanna got their hair braided at a local salon. Their adoptive mother, Colleen, got a call from the school minutes later.
The school basically said that they didn't want anything artificial or unnatural in their hair.
The school's policy says students may not have a hairstyle distracting to other students.
She proudly wears hers in its natural, tightly curled state. So she was stunned this year when she saw her school's new dress code policy. What offended the Scotts is this line in the new policy, banning dreadlocks, twists, afros longer than 2 inches, and cornrows, which is even misspelled.
Look at my daughter. I don't want this to happen. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You don't care.
What's wrong with her hair?
There's nothing wrong with her hair.
Her hair
It's
is
a
fine.
black.
And then it becomes major news, and then they gotta shut up and retract their statement and be like, we ain't mean that. You can wear whatever hair you want, it's beautiful, you know? We even saw that story with the kid who was a wrestler. He had to get his dreads cut off in order to be allowed to continue with his match.
The referee allegedly tells Johnson he would forfeit the match if he didn't submit to the haircut. The young wrestler appears visibly upset as his locks are shorn. A teammate is seen trying to console him.
And things like that, when it gets brought to light, gets like national backlash, and people are like, you can't do that. That's like discrimination. But for the longest time, when incidences like that happened, that's just what it was. Cut your hair, you can't go to school. We go cut off your dreads, and if we don't want to let you continue with this match, it is what it is. And that's just how it's been for decades, like hundreds of years. People of color are discriminated against because of our natural hair texture and styles. We wanted to assimilate, we wanted to be hired, we wanted to get equal footing and be treated natural like other people in the States at the time. Like, again, a lot of this stuff I say is from the perspective of an American. I've gotten the comments from people saying, well, in South Africa it's not like that, or in the UK it's not like that. Well, I've never been to those countries, so I can't really speculate. I'm just saying what I know as an American. Like, we're taught at a young and early age that black features are bad and dangerous and not as good as the white features.
And why is she the smart child?
Because she is white.
Okay. Show me the ugly child. And why is she the ugly child?
Because she's black.
Show me the good-looking child.
For me personally, as recently as last year, if you guys have seen a lot of my videos, you know when I came back from Korea, I put my hair in box braids because in Korea, braiding hair is a lot more expensive. The conditioners and oil treatments and everything to keep your hair locked up and braid it up in a neat way is way more expensive. So as soon as I got to the States, I was able to wear hairstyles like that again. And I had my hair braided up. I told my friend for my job interview that I had, she already worked there. She gave me the advice to take my braids out because she said in the room where she was interviewed, there was a group of like a handful of girls who had braids, afros, locks, whatever, and they were not hired. Now that may be a coincidence, it may not be, but she said this. She said it's a lot easier to not hire someone because of their hair than it is to fire someone because of their hair. Meaning, if I go there with braids and they say no, I can't really combat that. Like, it is what it is. Now, if I'm wearing braids at my job and they say we want you to go and there's no other reason why because I'm doing my job the way I should be, then, you know, I can say something to somebody. Like, she wears her hair in braids and locks and everything now because she can. She's already hired. So you guys see what I'm talking about? Like, this is not, for the longest time, this was about assimilation and being taken seriously and surviving. Back in the day, it was what it was. Now there are some laws that prevent that type of discrimination. You do see women are now coming out wearing natural hair, wearing locks, wearing braids and everything more often. But for the longest, we were not able to do that. And now it doesn't matter because boxer braids and locks and everything are cool and trendy and no longer considered ghetto and unprofessional. It's funny how that happens. I think one of the main things that like gets me is like, why do people consider straight hair white hair? Because it's not. Like every other major racial group or whatever you want to call it, they have straighter textured hair. Like curly kinky hair is mostly unique to black people. And I'm not saying only black people have this type of hair. I'm saying that's what's the norm. It's more likely. We see Indians with straighter hair, / Asians with straighter hair, Hispanics and Latinos with straighter hair, people from the Middle East have straighter hair. Like, how is that straight hair equals white? That's not what it is. This is probably gonna get me in even more trouble, but stop saying that black women want to be white when we straighten our hair or wear wigs, because we don't. Nothing against white people, but black women order Brazilian, Indian, maybe even Cambodian hair, not Irish. And I'm not trying to say that their hair is ugly in Ireland or that the people are ugly. They're great people and they're beautiful people, and I'm just trying to make a point. Like, at most, I will give you that some black women try to look racially ambiguous, and that's only some. Like, black women and black men, this ain't just a female thing, like to tell people, oh yeah, my dad half Indian, or my mom, her dad Chinese. You know, like, you have those people who like add stuff that they've heard and that their black families are also telling them that may or may not be true. Like my brother, here's a good example. My brother used to go around and tell people that we were biracial. Like, what do you gain from that? Both of our parents are black. Now, like I said in my Black in Korea video, I know there is some mixing down the line, as is the case with most African Americans. Like, Massa couldn't keep his hands off sometimes. So a lot of black people in America today are like, they have white blood in them or European blood in them, like far down the line or somewhere. Like, I know there is some racial mixing in my family. I'm not denying that. I'm saying both of my parents are black. My immediate family are black. And in America, we do have this one drop rule where if you're like, even people who are like a third black or a quarter black are considered black people. Look at Obama, look at Meghan Markle. So yeah, like I said, even my brother went around telling people we were half white. Like, why? I do know that there are some black people who do that, but the majority of people do not. And I do know there are people out there who are black and like to wear blonde wigs, blue eyes, and foolishly bleach their skin and tell people that they're white, or passing, because that was also a term coined long ago, that people were black but could pass for white. I've seen Dr. Phil.
People try to tell me I'm an African American, but that's not true. African Americans are loud, rude, obnoxious, and just altogether fat and ugly.
So I'm not saying that self-hate is not a problem, because it really is. Especially, and I can't even say, like, I feel bad, like, I am a lighter skinned person. Like, I know people who are darker are taught that, you know, dark skin is ugly, it's dangerous, even by black people to each other. Like, I get so frustrated when I hear black people talk about team light skin, team dark skin. Oh, she acting bougie because she light skin. He only liked the light skinned girls. Like, why are we doing this to each other still in 2020? And trying to be like more racially ambiguous is not only a black person thing, because I've talked about blackfishing before, but for those of you who don't know, blackfishing is when a non-black person uses black features on social media to gain money and to gain popularity. This is when we get into like appropriation, and I'm not getting into that in this video. Maybe that'll be sometime in the future. But a lot of people try to pass for a different race than they are. That's not unique to black women, and it's not why black women wear fake hair or straighten their hair. For me personally, I've been getting hair relaxers since I was like 6 or 7. It's just what's easier for me to do. My mom has been doing it to me. She recently stopped. Like, she hasn't gotten a relaxer in like a year and a half now. I see her, you know, trying to get through it, and like she likes her curly pattern, so she's happy, but it takes a lot more to manage, and some people got the patience for that, some people don't. I don't feel like letting it grow out and try to learn how to manage that. It's just what I'm more comfortable with. And actually, for the longest time, I went without wearing hair extensions because so many people assume all Black women don't have hair. So I was like, oh, I want to show them that we do have hair, and we do know how to take care of it. So I didn't wear hair extensions until I was in college. I decided I wanted to experiment with my hair and have fun with it. Like, that's in college, self-discovery, all that cliched stuff. So yeah, in college, I decided to get clip-in extensions, and I love them. Like, I could put pink in my hair, blue in my hair, blonde, and not have to worry about damaging my own and keeping mine healthy. I've only ever worn clip-ins until I did have these ones, which a lot of you guys don't know, but they're very popular with like white people or people who have like finer hair. There's like these I-tip extensions, these U-tip extensions, and like these tape glued wefts. I experiment with them a little bit because I'm so tender-headed, I cannot take braids, like cornrows, I can't do it. So I looked into all these methods, and I was amazed by seeing how often white people and non-people of color wear hair extensions. And it's totally normal, it's fine. Like, I'm not trying to judge people. I'm just trying to say, like, this has nothing to do with someone's identity. Like, for some people it does, but that's like a general statement to say that, oh, all Black women wear hair extensions because they hate the fact that they're Black. Like, that is so stupid. So anyway, I started with clip-in extensions because the I-tip and the tapey glued wefts or whatever just weren't for me. I didn't want to do it anymore, and I wanted something where I could take them out and pop them in whenever I wanted. Until September of last year, I never wore a wig because I always thought you had to put glue in your hair, and I was not about to damage my hair by gluing stuff and destroying my hairline, so I never did it. And they offered to pay me to wear a wig and review it, so now I'm like, I like wigs. This is a wig, by the way, so what? I dyed my hair blonde at the end of 2018, and I've always wanted to see how I look with the blonde hair. Beyonce rocks it, Nene rocks it, so I said, let me try this. And I've always been scared to because I don't want to damage my hair. So I finally did it, and I damaged my hair. So at the end of 2018, I cut it off, like real short, like it was like this short. And that's why a lot of my videos last year I had box braids because I was growing it back out. And now I'm wearing wigs because I'm still growing it back out. So, you know, I popped this off, wash my hair, condition it, re-braid it back up, and it's growing, and I'm very happy. So stop judging people for doing what they want to do with their own hair. Like, this is getting ridiculous.
Out here dudes be wearing wigs.
Okay.
Yeah, that
looks
like we could make a difference.
So.
So what is this? What is it?
Oh my God.
Oh, wow.
I made the rant video about that YouTuber, not saying his name, and that led to me making the rant video about being a Black girl. And then those comments were people saying, y'all do need validation, y'all hate yourself, that's why you're out here wearing wigs and stuff. That is not why. Relax. Like, a lot of girls cut their hair when they go through something traumatic or when they just want to change, like especially at the beginning of the year. A lot of girls will go from this to this, or the pixies, and then they just like, oh man, I really miss my hair. And they get hair extensions or they buy a wig because they miss having them inches. And that's what every girl goes through. With like different hair extensions, you can have blue hair if you want and not have to worry about damaging your own. You can have more volume, because I know that's why a lot of white girls wear hair extensions, because they think their hair is thin. You can have blonde hair today, pink hair tomorrow. What a time to be alive. So yeah, I made this rant and I feel a lot better, like I knew I would. I always feel better when I put my piece out there and just say what's on my mind, and hopefully learn a few people. If not, I tried. So yeah, thanks for watching. If you did, remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Annyeong.